Fasten your safety belts. Fasten your safety belts.
My name is Bobby Charles and I used to play soccer for England and for Manchester United. And I now run coaching schools for youngsters in the UK. Which foot do you want it with?
Right.
I don't want to embarrass you. Right. Your right foot?
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to go over your left shoulder then. Hey, come here. That was disgraceful, that, wasn't it? I mean, this could be the last minute in the cup final, the only chance that you've got of putting Man United into the European Cup. And if I was your teammates, I'd come and kick you up the backside, I would, for doing something as soft as that. Hey, can't teach you anything. Ray Whelan is our director of coaching at the school. Ray?
Bobby, I think that today we're really going to enjoy it because I think we're going to look at the striker.
Yeah. Let's go into the coaching room and we'll talk in a little bit more detail about this position.
We'll see some exciting action.
Okay.
The question, do you wish you could score goals like that? I score goals like that all the time.
If you only buy one football video this year, make sure you keep the receipt, because this one's a right load of old rubbish. Watch it once, fast forward over the crap bits, and remember, a little bit of tape over the edge, and at least you're free to go and tape over it with something good.
Well, hello and welcome to this Burton Striker presentation in which Jimmy and I will be taking an in-depth look at some of the finest goal scorers around today. And it would be fair to say that you really enjoy a good striker, James.
I do, especially this chocolate biscuit striker side, nice and crisp, just like footballing strikers.
This video looks at some of the greatest goal scorers. In today's game, it is not always the man with the number 9 shirt who scores the goals. So, our selection comes from all positions.
It is, of course, Steven Gerrard, Stevie G. I have to say, I love football, but Stevie G's always come across as a nice bloke. Comes across as a nice guy, doesn't he?
Very much like, you know, in the Ryan Giggs mould, one club.
Yes. Very much so. He's Liverpool and he will always be Liverpool. Here we've got the Champions of Europe, May 2005. This was. Yeah, it was in Istanbul, wasn't it? Or it was the Istanbul game. But look, there it is again. It's signed in quite an obvious place as well.
Yep.
And just at 189.99 as well, if you'd like it.
People right now was daft shelling out money for the boy Fashno.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, quite incredible, incredible. Now, I'll be totally honest with you, this next name didn't really mean that much to me when I first heard it.
John's got a terrific touch for one so big. You would be surprised by his ability to deal with the ball. He's got good engines, gets about the park, but sometimes when you're playing in his position, you need those injections. That you know, you need the drug that only goals can give you, and sometimes he goes too long without a fix.
Believe me, we're addicted.
When police found the paper fold with the cocaine in McAvenny's jeans, he said, "It's just a little bit of Charlie."
Right, well, we've had Englishmen, Scotsmen, and now a Welshman, and no feature on outstanding strikers would be complete without the inclusion of Ian Rush.
Hello and welcome to Premier 500.
a look at 500 goals scored in the English Premier League. I've scored one or two myself, but I think we should take a look at everyone who scored a goal in the English Premier League. With so many quality goals, it's very difficult to know where to start from. So I've decided we should take a look at goals scored from corners.
This is a terrific idea, a real winner.
This is the excitement that's generated when the ball finishes up in the back of the net. The crowd love it, and it's really the most exciting part of the game.
I think you've got a couple of examples that you want to show.
Let's have a look at them, yeah.
Jürgen Klinsmann, the blonde-headed German, long-legged athletic type of player, famous for his spectacular goals and many a diving header.
Yes, and people will say, well, fash the bash, he's at it again. We all read the newspapers. But no, it's not like that. Maybe I'm just using my experience of the martial arts to protect myself. Maybe when elbows come in flying, I'm able to see them and move back. Maybe when the tackles go a little bit higher, I'm able to lift one leg up and look at it and imagine it's a sweep. That's exactly what I would say, and be able to avoid it. My ability to be able to read body language has helped an awful lot. So if that means fash the bash, then fine. I'll continue to be called fash the bash.
But now it's time for your letters, and a very warm reaction, really, to our interview last week with that great old Arsenal star, Ted Drake. Perhaps the nicest letter, I think, came from Mrs. R.C. Horn of 9 Poplar House, Langley Slough in Berkshire, who remembers seeing Ted play on the Queen's Park Rangers ground many years ago, and she remembers it for the very good reason that during the kick-in before the game, Ted kicked the ball smack into her face. Oh, he was so upset, says Mrs. Horn, especially as I was a woman. He came to me at half-time and after the match to see how I was. What a gentleman he was and is.
Their centre-forward, Drake, scores with a beautiful hook.
I think it's a great idea.
But Bobby tells me, my husband, that we're going to beat them well and truly 2-0.
But do you always believe what your husband says?
I have to, because he'll batter my nose down to a blackhead if I don't.
Blonde or dark doesn't matter. Height?
Doesn't matter, really. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So all those girls out there have all got a chance.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to start in the traditional manner with a swimsuit parade. And if I can just remind you, the judges will be looking for their involvement in sport, together with poise and charm. Sandra is 21 and comes from Harlow in Essex. Her main sport is the pentathlon.
You enjoy seeing those?
I really did, Bobby. Different players and different types of goals.
We're moving on now to goals scored from free kicks. Most teams have a dead ball specialist. We all love to practice on the training ground, but these are the players we know can get it right.
If there's one department of the game where the pros beat the amateurs, it's in headwork. These Stoke players can keep this up for 5 minutes, especially when Tommy Valance, the trainer's, watching. Watch this corner and see how beautifully the ball's taken.
I was fascinated by the goal in terms of the meticulous preparation that must have gone into it. I know managers don't like taking credit, but...
I'm not supposed to say this, Gary, but we obstructed a player. So
Yeah,
we know, Tony. We saw. I'm not supposed to be that honest and say that.
You obstructed 3, not 1. C. Anyway.
As well as the great classic goals, there are also the flukes. Of course, I've never scored a fluke, so I hope I'm not insulting any of my mates when I call something a fluke when they think it's the best goal they've ever scored.
I'm just wondering what really, how you measure a goal. We know how we're measuring it, but could there be a measurement how much discussion it causes in the pub that night? Which of those would cause the most pub discussion that night, do you reckon?
Well, that conversation went on for quite some time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 votes for Pelé as the greatest.
They were some of my favourite goal scorers from around the world, and I'm sure you enjoyed the selection, even if your favourite was not included. Keep watching football and keep cheering those goals, whoever scores them.
Been some great goals from some great strikers.
Great players, great goals, as you rightly say, and some really wonderful stuff. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Have
Good
you?
man. Yes, I certainly
You enjoyed it? Good. You can have a striker.
Okay.
Have a striker
Yeah.
biscuit. Why not?
It's very kind of you.
Lovely. And like us, you can have a striker at any time.
Well, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this Burton Striker presentation. The action's been non-stop and it's been great fun. And I know you've enjoyed it as well, Jim.
Certainly have.
Goodbye.